So you can listen to this practice wherever you find yourself today. You can be sitting down or laying down or even stretching and doing things if that's what you got to do. And hopefully wherever you're at when you listen, this will still be helpful to you in some way. So if you would like to listen in a still position, just feel free to take all the time you need to arrive there. And just allow yourself to fidget, adjust, stretch, or move in whatever ways your body wants to move. Doing your best to not think about these movements at all, but more letting your body move you in the ways that intuitively feel good in your bones, muscles, joints. Not worrying at all about what the movements look like, but just coming fully into your sense of feeling and following those yummy sensations you may feel when rolling out the neck or doing some cat-cow motions with the spine, maybe side body bends or torso twists. Or maybe even reaching the arms overhead for a nice big morning stretch. And if what feels best to you at any time is stillness, then honoring that need for stillness, whenever that feels like what you need. But there's also no rush whatsoever. You can continue to move throughout this practice whenever you feel the need to. But at any point, if you haven't already and would like to, you can make your way to a still position, just feeling that the spine is nice and straight in whatever position you've chosen. And if you're in a space where you feel safe and would like to, you can allow the eyes to gently close at any time if they aren't already. As you now mark your arrival into your practice today and into your body today with a full, intentional cleansing breath. As you call in fresh new air into the body through the nose, filling up to every corner and edge of you as you just pause for a moment once you're full, to stay in that fullness for a little longer than normal. And without straining as you need to, slowly let all of that go. Exhaling bit by bit, as you gently pull the navel toward the spine at the bottom of your exhale to really push that last bit of stagnant air out of you. As you again pause for a moment now to stay in that emptiness for a little bit longer than usual. Allowing your next breath to come to you as it's needed. So you can breathe just like this for as many rounds as feels good and helpful to you. Not worrying about the actual length of your inhales, exhales, and pauses on either side, but just letting each of these 4 parts be exaggerated, whatever that means for you right now. So when the body would naturally stop inhaling, seeing if you can open yourself up a little bit more to take in one more moment's worth of air. And when you would naturally roll over to your exhale, seeing if you can hold off on that for one extra moment to stay in that fullness. And then as you exhale, even once you think you're empty, seeing if you can push out one more bit of air to truly empty yourself. And staying in that emptiness for an extra moment before letting your next breath come to you. As we just intentionally now slowing down the process of our breath. therefore communicating to our nervous system that now is a time to slow down. And at any point, if you haven't already, you may release this guidance over your breath altogether and feel yourself almost stepping back and up in your mind into the role of the observer or the witness, into that perspective or point of view where you are simply watching the fact that your body is breathing rather than having any direct impact over the rhythm or depth of your breath. But remembering how our breath is our one bodily function that can be either voluntary or automatic. And so letting go of that voluntary guidance we just had over the breath, and now simply observing the automatic process that is your body breathing you, just as it would even when you're in a deep sleep. Seeing your body breathing just as you would see waves rolling up along the shoreline or any other force of nature. Not trying to change anything about what you are witnessing, but simply witnessing. And letting some of your awareness come now to your face. And maybe even seeing in your mind's eye a depiction of any expression that could be resting on your face right now. Making note of any emotions that could be communicated by this resting expression on the face. Maybe the brow is furrowed or the jaw is tense. Maybe the nostrils are flared or the chin could be holding some extra tension. And from that point of awareness, you can now allow all the muscles of your face to simply ungrip from the bones. Allowing all the tiny muscles in your face to release back into the support of the skin. Releasing yourself into your own anatomy. Trusting your own anatomy. Trusting that when you let go of all that extra tension, absolutely everything will be held exactly where it needs to be. And you do not need to hold yourself in any specific way. But you can allow yourself to be exactly as you are. Releasing yourself a little bit further, a little bit deeper into the surface that is beneath you. Releasing yourself into the earth that is beneath that surface. Trusting the safety of gravity all around you and the earth beneath you. Trusting that when you let go, you will not be crushed and you will not float away, but with the earth and gravity and your body everything will be held exactly where it needs to be. And so even if it's just for a moment, releasing yourself into that safety and trust. And maybe there are some layers, or maybe many layers, of fear and doubt stacked on top of this core sense of safety that we all possess. And if that is the case, not ignoring your fears and doubts and pushing them away, but allowing them to exist, allowing them to just be another part of you right now. And allowing any fears and doubts that exist within you, allowing them to act almost as seeds of future action. Trusting that there will always be a period of time between when we recognize we need to make a change and when we actually have the strength, power, and resources to make those changes reality. And so if there's any aspect of your life right now or your current circumstances that impede on your sense of safety, you can let that reminder exist. Let that seed be planted for future action that does support your safety. Trusting that you are already on your way to exactly where you want to be. As you now let some of your awareness come to your heart, as you gradually call more and more of your awareness, more and more of your attention to your physical heart. Syncing up your awareness with this rhythm that is your own heartbeat. And maybe even placing one or both hands on top of the heart to encourage that feeling from the outside as well, if you're having trouble feeling it today, or if you just want to. But reminding yourself now of the gift that this heart truly is. Reminding yourself how there is nothing in particular that you are doing right now to make your heart beat. And there's nothing you have done in particular to earn this beating heart. But this beating heart is a pure gift of this life. And this heart has been giving you life from the time you were in your mother's womb up to this exact moment. And this heart will continue to give you life for as long as you are in this body. And just feeling how the pulse that is in your own heart, how that pulse is pushed throughout your entire body. This pulse travels to every inch of your body. And the same heartbeat that exists in your chest also exists in your toes, in the soles of your feet, in your heels, and travels all the way up both legs. Feeling the pulse at the base of your spine, the space between the sit bones. And feeling that same pulse in your stomach. Feeling the pulse in your fingertips. Feeling the pulse in the palms of your hands. Maybe even feeling as if you are holding pulsating balls of light in each hand. And feeling that pulsating light and that warmth in your hands naturally spread up the arms. And feeling the pulse in the wrist and the upper arms, the shoulders. As your awareness meets at the space between the shoulders, right at the heart. Tracing that pulse from your heart now, all the way up through the throat. As your awareness comes into the head, and you feel that pulse at the space between the inner ears, at the very center of the skull. Feeling the pulse at the space now between the eyebrows, at your third eye center. And feeling that same pulse at the crown of your head, the highest point in your body. This feeling in your own body, your beating heart throughout every inch of you. The pulse at the crown of your head, the tips of your fingers and the tips of your toes, and every inch in between. And if there is a part of your body, anywhere within your body, that is experiencing pain right now, noticing those urges that we feel to distract or to run away from the pain. And instead, seeing if you can almost zoom in on the pain and trace the space from your heart to that area that is in pain. Tracing it with your awareness back and forth. As you allow all of the love that exists within your heart to feed into that part of your body that needs a little bit extra love right now. And just seeing if you can let go of that extra layer of pain that we put on ourselves It's usually the heaviest layer of our suffering, is our resistance to the pain, our resistance to this moment, because it's painful. So validating that resistance, because of course you will want to escape painful feelings. And at the same time, remembering that absolutely everything is temporary. And it is safe for you to feel what you are feeling right now. It is temporary, even when it feels like it will last forever, and it's always been this way, and it always will be this way. The only thing we know to be true in this life is that everything changes. And so even if it's just for a split second, seeing if you can exhale into the pain. And not add any more tension or resistance to your current circumstances. Knowing that this will not erase all the pain, and that's not the goal, but this will maybe allow us to breathe a little bit deeper, to find even just a moment of acceptance with what is. Remembering that acceptance does not mean that we like it or agree with it or want it to be this way. It simply means that we acknowledge reality. We are stepping into reality. And reality will often contain a lot of pain and hurt and sorrow. And at the same time, it will often contain a lot of joy and love and connection. And when you are in pain and when you are suffering in this life, that does not mean that you deserve it. Does not mean that you've earned it or are being punished for anything wrong that you've done. It simply means that you are human. And you are living the human experience, which will contain pain and hurt. And it will also contain joy and love and everything in between. And so just letting go of that heavy layer of resistance as well as expectations. Those harsh expectations that we may put on ourselves to cure ourselves of all illness, or to heal ourselves fully, or to be feeling good and motivated all of the time. And just trust that you will make the most of the times that you are feeling motivated and good, and all of the happy, lovely things in life. And you will also make it through all of the difficult times in life, remembering all of the really difficult things you've already made it through, simply to be alive in your body right now. To be alive right now means that you have survived so many difficult things. And you will continue to survive and make your way through the difficult parts of life. And allowing yourself to almost lean on the comforting parts of life whenever you need. We exist in so many different lives simultaneously. We have our health life, our spiritual life, our family life, our work life, our friends, our romantic life. We have so many different lives happening at the same time. And while maybe your health life is really suffering, perhaps your family life could be really comforting and supporting. Or maybe your work or your friends. Or maybe your animals or just your relationship with nature and spirit. So we may be in a really difficult part in our lives, in one aspect of our lives, at the same time as we may be really supported and thriving in another. And so you can give yourself permission to lean on the comforting aspects that you possess right now. Using the comforting parts of your life almost as lifelines to just get you to the next moment, get you through the difficult things that we will all experience. And just adding in more of those things that make your life worth living. Those things, those passions that you have that make you feel like the pain is worth it and that you will make it through these difficult things in order to experience such love and joy that you feel through whatever you feel that through. Maybe through your art or through your passions or through feeling the sun on your skin. Just soaking in all of the amazing, magical parts of life. And releasing any guilt that might come up. Sometimes we feel guilty for feeling good when we know that others are really suffering. But that guilt doesn't necessarily help. And so what we can do with that guilt, what we can transform it into, is action to help in whatever ways that we can help. And using all of the goodness that you do feel to serve in whatever way you are meant to serve. And just letting some of your awareness come back to the muscles in your body. Noticing if any tension has crept back anywhere within you. As you once again exhale and allow yourself to be exactly as you are. And just trusting that you are exactly where you're meant to be, and you are already on your way to where you want to be. And if it feels like something you'd like to do today, you can just let your hands come and find each other in a prayer position toward heart center. As you just feel this contact of your palms and fingertips to one another, And allow your thumbs to press toward your heart as your heart lifts back toward your thumbs. And allow yourself to take one final deep and full breath into the body, filling up the most you have today. And as you exhale, letting go of anything you're ready to let go of, as you allow the head to gently bow. It's taking this moment to bow to the source of energy that allows all of our hearts to beat, whatever you believe that to be. Bowing to everyone else in this space who has listened and completed this practice right alongside you. And finally, bowing to yourself for choosing to show up today and taking the time out of your busy life for this pure act of self-love and self-care. May this act continue to heal you through the rest of your days and nights. And may you bring the same love and understanding to everything you do and to everyone that you see. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I'm just going to read through the comments. Oh, if you wanted to stay in that zone a little longer, you can float on out of here. I'll be back here Tuesday and Friday next week. I'm going to do the same thing. So yeah, I'm going to read through these comments now. Good morning, Dee. I'm glad you made it in. Good morning to you, Andrew. I saw that in the middle of the meditation, so I hope that the stomach pains are a little bit better. I do have a lot of meditations on here that are specific for stomach pains, and I was gonna do, like, I have one that's healing hands, which is kind of what we did today with, like, just seeing the heart connecting to whatever part of you is hurting, which for me is often my stomach, so a lot of the meditations focus on stomach, but I also have headache ones too. And with the healing hands one, the idea is basically what we did today, but kind of through your hands first. So you feel the heartbeat in your heart, feel it in your hand, and then trace it with your awareness, like through the arm, up through the shoulder, through to the other hand, or other arm, down the hand, and that hand is on your stomach. And you just kind of keep tracing that way back and forth. And I always find that really helpful, just with giving myself that extra love, you know, because stomach pain is the worst. And that's at least what helps me, because the pain is always there. It doesn't really ever go away, but the resistance to it is a really heavy layer of that pain. And so if I can let go of that, even just for a moment, I feel a lot of relief. But it doesn't always work either. So I hope it helped a little bit. Same to you, Benjamin, with your back pain. I'm glad that was supportive for you. And thank you for that caring energy, Betty. And Elizabeth, thank you. Hi, Perry. Hello. Didn't realize. Yeah, I changed it a little bit earlier, so I'm sorry. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep it 7:30 for a little bit, just because it works better with my work schedule. Because I've been getting up early, and it's just too much to work and then meditation and then work. So I'm like, if I can just do it before, then it's better. So I'm going to keep it like that for now, just because it's working. But I'll probably go back to 8 o'clock at some point. But I will be sure to let you know. So, Dee, awesome. It helped me recognize how much pointless guilt I feel for sometimes being more, or other than I am. Crazy but human. Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. It's, the guilt part is I think people who, like if we have a generally good life during this time, it's, I think, very normal to feel guilt because we see, especially with the internet and social media, have constant access to all of the suffering that's happening in the world. But the thing is that guilt and fear are debilitating and they don't help us. Well, I think I have heard some people bring up good points about like if you guilt for doing something wrong or like regret, it can, spark action and want you to, do stuff with that guilt. So if it feels helpful, then I don't want to take anything away from that. But if it feels debilitating, then we can just remind ourselves that if we have so many gifts in this life, then there's a lot that we can do with that. We can help a lot of the people who are hurting. So instead of feeling guilty for having a good life, we can use our good life to help those who don't, and just kind of shifting that a little bit. But yeah, also validating it because it's normal. It's like we're constantly being bombarded with so much pain and suffering, and it physically hurts, and I think we're all hurting to some extent. So yeah, I think it's very human, but if we can let it go for even just a moment, then we can be of more service, I guess, or at least be more present. But yeah, I'm glad that helped, Liddy. That's great. Acceptance is the theme again for me. Same here. And yes, I think I am going to be back to 2 days a week, and I'll probably just keep it 2 days a week because I feel better doing it 2 days a week. So I think next week I'll be here Tuesday and Friday at the same time, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So whatever time this started for you. Ooh, Benjamin, I started studying hypnotherapy and recently was learning about Milton Erickson. Interesting. He has some amazing pain support, especially since he survived 2 bouts of polio. Wow. That's crazy. I'm definitely going to look up that person. Thank you for sharing that. I took a course in hypnotherapy a few years ago, and actually I made a YouTube video talking about hypnosis because I took a course in hypnotherapy and my therapist was doing gut hypnosis on me for a while. And it's really funny because I started creating the gut healing meditations before that, and it's very similar. It's kind of, it's using your imagination to your benefit in a way. But I have a lot of help with it, but it's helpful for me because, I think most people, the idea of hypnosis is like someone else is controlling you, but it really is someone else is guiding you to control yourself, and not even control, but like, you get what I'm saying? It's like you're the one doing everything. It's very, if you do, you're listening to guided meditations, it's kind of the same thing, but with more of a focus and a goal. It's all self-hypnosis, exactly. Just when you're listening to someone else guiding you there, it's, you kind of like give yourself over to that voice. That's why I always say, like, if you ever wanted to create guided meditations or do hypnosis things, I really don't think that there can ever be too many people doing it, because the thing that's so important with a meditation teacher or hypnosis or anything is that the voice is a seamless voice for you to listen to. So they could be saying all of the right words that connect with you and click with you, but if their voice sounds like a teacher that you didn't like in 3rd grade or whatever, then it's not going to be a seamless thing for you. You're going to be thinking too much about the voice. And so then you'll be listening to the voice and telling your body to respond to the cues, versus if it's a perfect combination of voice and cues for you that's like specifically works for you, then it's not even like you're listening to anything. It's just like your body is immediately responding to the cues. And it's not like you're listening and then doing, it's all one process. And that should be like the goal, I think, or that's my goal, at least when I'm looking for a teacher that I connect with. So, yeah, I think if you feel called to it in any way, like please create meditations and things, because we need all the help we can get these days. You know, I really don't think there can ever be too many people doing it, because even if you're saying the same things, or if you're reading from scripts that you find online or whatever, it's like your delivery is the main thing. So yeah. I just wanted to say that. If you go to my profile and then there's like a search bar, it should be next, or like a magnifying glass that's next to like community tab, I think. You can search like hypnosis and that video should pop up. But if you look in like my playlist, Ruthie Rambles, I have a playlist, which is just what it sounds like. I'm pretty sure the hypnosis ones are in that playlist, where I just talk about whatever I want to talk about, a lot of spiritual things and a lot of things about my health. And then I also have yoga classes, almost 200 guided meditations on there, and a health history and updates where I talk about my diagnosis with ulcerative colitis, getting my colon removed, living with an ostomy bag, now a J pouch, all the surgeries I've had, and things, bowel obstructions, things like that. So if any of that relates to you or interests you, it is all out there. D, I need to hear that. Yes, I feel called to create content. I've been dragging my feet. My yoga mentor says I really should. I absolutely agree. Not everyone feels called to it. And that's something that I had to get over for a while, was that I, was taking yoga classes and listening to meditations, and I really wanted to do it, but I felt like, no, there's so many people doing it. I'm not going to do it. Like, there's already enough teachers out there. And I just figured everyone felt that way. I figured everyone like really wanted to do it, but just didn't. And I'm like, no, not everyone wants to do that. So if you feel called to do it, then do it. Because I'm sure there is someone out there waiting right now who will connect with exactly the way you say things and will be like, thank you for, because that's what happened with me, like I only made my first meditation because I wanted something I could listen to on the toilet. So I literally made it for myself to listen to while I was on the toilet. And it just really snowballed from there. I got so much, that's still, I think, the first meditation I ever made, I think is my most popular one. I think it's like solar plexus something for digestion. And I think I felt that pull for a reason, and I'm sure you feel that pull for a reason as well, if you feel that pull. So thank you, Betty. Thank you so much. And thank you, Dee. So yeah, I look forward to seeing what you create. Anyone out there who wants to create. So yeah, I think that's enough rambling for now. Thank you guys. Thank you, Perry and Benjamin. Thank you, everyone, for just being here and for listening. Even if you don't write in the chat, just thank you for your time. Thank you for the hearts. And I hope you have a great Friday and a great weekend as well. I will be back here Tuesday, 7:30 a.m. I'm going to make that right now so you can follow me here on Insight Timer and see the live schedule. You can subscribe to my YouTube and Instagram and all that stuff. So thank you, Greg. You too. Happy December. Yay. Okay, have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.